Hi guys, welcome back to Vlogmas day. I'm not sure which day it is actually in Vlogmas. I feel like I say that every single time I start a video. I'm about to show you this makeup look, so if you would like to see how I do my everyday hair and makeup, then keep on watching. I'm also in front of the Christmas tree, which is very sweet. I've obviously just finished filming, so it went well. I feel like this is a very good representation of my day-to-day makeup. So yeah, enjoy. Where's my cup of tea's up there? I'm actually gonna go and get that because that's necessary. Okay, I think we're back. Where's the tea gone? Here it is. Got my little cup here. It's actually covered in tea stains because I've had so many cups of tea today. I've also been listening on TikTok to the Sophia Richie, you know, that viral dance that she's been doing. I've been listening to the song behind that. I think it's called, oh god, it's like one word, I can't remember what it's called, but it is so good. The lyrics are a bit interesting. It's all like, you told me to get a job and then ask where I've been and stuff. It's all a bit weird. I'm going to use the Merit Great Skin Moisturiser. I like a moisturiser that is really insignificant. You don't really feel it on the skin. I like it to be lightweight. I don't want anything too nourishing and heavy when I'm at work. So I'm just going to put this all over my face. I mean, it's definitely nourishing, but it's not heavy, if that makes sense. I also have my handy little Muji mirror here, you know, the one. I feel like it's just the best handheld mirror that's out there. I'm now going to go in with some of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in the shade Fair Pale. This is number 2. And I just like... Oh, I got a new one of these actually. This is the old lighter one that I have. I have 2, but I feel like the lighter one's probably better for this time of year. Often I will just blend this with my fingers, but I thought today let's just use the Rare Beauty... I don't know what this is called. It's a Rare Beauty brush for foundation and I love it. A guy in a guy in Space NK recommended it to me and it's fantastic. That is like a super lightweight base. Also goes without saying, I'm not going out and it's actually evening time, so I don't need to put any SPF on. But if I do, it tends to be the Super Goop Glow Screen that I've been loving at the minute. It's also got a really nice tint to it. I'll just show you. This is the kind of glow, and it's got a really nice tint. It's like a proper tinted SPF, and it really does give you a bit of a tan, which is what I love about it. I'm going to use some of the Got To Be eyebrow gel, this one, and just like brush up my brows and kind of keep it quite simple. Then I'll go in when they're dry with a bit of a pencil just to like thicken out the front of them. I was watching Chelsea Callahan's latest video, and it is basically like the front page is like single in your 30s living in NYC. And honestly, like her videos are so comforting to me. I feel like I found her channel a couple of years ago. It must have been, maybe it was before I actually met Matt. Maybe that's why I came across her videos, because I was actually single at the time. And I just feel like there's something so special about time on your own in your late 20s, like early 30s, where before you meet a partner, or like obviously I wouldn't change. I'm so happy with me and Matt, and like we're in the most lovely stage of our lives and I'm so grateful. But I feel like I know a lot of people at the minute who are going through these like really transitional phases of life, and it seems like such a confusing kind of like change period. But when you look back on those periods of like being single, just doing what you're doing, going to bed on your own every night, I feel like there's so much growth in that time where you actually have so much time alone with your own thoughts and you're not constantly surrounded by this other person, that you just kind of like ease into yourself so much more. Like I remember before I met Matt, there was like such a period of time where I was just doing things like going out, I don't know, I feel like you're so much more open to doing and saying yes to everything and kind of like throwing yourself out there, like going to book clubs or going to, I don't know, like you just spend a Saturday daytime rather than like you go out drinking. Obviously, like if you're in the UK, drinking is such a huge thing, and obviously there'd be days at the pub or like nights, or in summer especially, like drinking is part of the culture here. But I feel like you would just be so much more open to doing different things with friends. Like you would try out a new gym class or mooch around a market, where like typically I would do that with Matt these days. Like it's such a special time in your late 20s, early 30s to kind of like do those things with friends or like meet new people. And that is one of my like biggest, not regrets, I don't have regrets like as such, but one of my things that I wish I'd done sooner. It's only in the past few years that I've really thrown myself into meeting new people and like putting myself in situations where I feel uncomfortable or where I just don't feel, or like going along to things where I don't have that like second person with me, because you just, I don't know, the conversations are different. You're open to so many more experiences and it's such a special time. But yeah, I love Chelsea's videos, and every time I watch them I'm like, oh, I feel like she's in such a happy like little bubble, and she's got her apartment, she's got her cats, she does her running. I feel like she's so good at like juggling everything. Everyone looks like that on the outside, I know that, but yeah, I feel like at the minute I'm kind of not struggling, but I'm just not juggling things very well. I feel like there's always something, like one of those plates, they use that analogy, right, where it's like everyone's spinning plates, and the one that's slipping for me at the minute is like my personal health. Not in a bad way, but just more that I've not exercised in a while, and I feel the kind of like mental stress of that. Like I feel like I just need to sweat and get into a good routine with like moving my body. I've mentioned these a million times, but these are my two foundations that I have on repeat. This is my all-time favorite. This is the Clarins Skin Illusion foundation, and I use the shade is actually like kind of rubbed off, but I use the shade 205, no, sorry, yeah, 20.5 C, I think is what it was before. But it's one of the lightest ones that they actually do, and I just find it leaves such a nice sheen on the skin. It looks so natural. I'm basically run out of this though. I keep talking about getting a new one and then I keep forgetting to do it, so I definitely need to do that before I go home for Christmas. But the one that I have been reaching for a lot as well recently is the Merit. These are called the complexion sticks. The Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick in the shade Linen. And I used to think that these foundation sticks would be super heavy and kind of like, I don't know how to describe them, like cakey. I used to see the Hourglass one everywhere, and I thought if I was going to get one, it would be Hourglass. But it always just looked too thick for me, and I just like a really light coverage. But when you kind of draw this all over your skin, it warms up whilst it's touching your skin, and it really just glides on. I also have the Merit makeup brush to blend this in with. They actually sent me those products. I hadn't really bought anything from Merit before they sent me the products, but look how nicely it just blends, and it really wears nicely throughout the day as well. This is the shade Linen. I don't know if I said that. This is what I've been wearing on my face since my Clarins ran out. But for like an evening out, this is like a really good summer foundation. For like more of an evening out, I would definitely go for this and kind of build it up. But this one is really nice. It's really glowy. I'm actually at home alone tonight, which I definitely love time by myself. Like I just mentioned, it's such a important thing to be comfortable on your own and not always have to be stimulated by like screens and, you know, TikTok and whatever, Real Housewives. But yeah, I don't love being on my own actually in the evenings. I find I get a bit scared in the house on my own. I'm actually going to make a really cozy night of it. I'm going to light my nice candles. I want to have a bath. I keep talking about having baths and I can't do it because of my mole removal. I think it was like 14 days they said after that you can have a bath, but it's just I think because of the, what's it called, stitches and stuff. So gross. But if I didn't have that, I would definitely be having a bath tonight. I've got some nice salmon for dinner, so I'm going to have that, I think. And what else am I going to do? Probably have some cups of tea, have some cookies, just one of those like really chilled nights. I'm going to use some of the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. This is the shade Creme. Often I like to not use the brush and actually just take whatever is around the edge of the tube because it gets quite messy and it's quite thick. So I'm just going to, let me just come in a bit. I'm just going to place it below, and then most importantly for me, I like to place it on top of the eyelid as well. I get really greasy eyelids, so I find at work especially, I like to place this around and then pat it in because work, it's such a long day. If I'm applying my makeup at like 6:30 in the morning and then I get home at like maybe, I don't know, 6:30 in the evening, it's like a 12-hour day and I really need this to last, so Well, I don't really need it to last. It's not like I'm doing anything that like depends on how my face is looking, but it would be nice if it lasted a bit longer, to be honest. I do love this foundation, but I feel like it's going to take me like 10 years to get through the bottle because a little really does go a long way. Okay, so that is all blended in. God, I feel like that guy, remember the train guy, Francis, in COVID, who used to be like this at the camera? I feel like I'm getting super close, but that is the kind of finish of the concealer and the foundation. And now for the fun bits. I find concealer and foundation quite boring when people are doing them on videos. I'm like, let's speed this bit up. I'm now going to use my NARS Laguna palette. Let me just show you what this is like close up. I got this for Christmas last year and it's got some of the nicest shades I've ever used on it. I'm going to be super boring and use the shade Morongo, this one, which you guys have seen me use probably like 15 times already. I'm just going to use my Real Techniques brush. I'm not sure what kind of brush this is, but I think it's for eyeshadow. Also, blast from the past, Real Techniques. Remember Sam and Nick Chapman? Who's been watching YouTube for like 15 years? Because I have been watching it so long. Like the old videos that I used to watch, honestly, like nowadays, if someone uploaded something like that, they would get no views at all. And they're some of the biggest stars that have come out of YouTube. I used to sit and watch people like go through what's in their handbag for like a very long video, like maybe a 30-minute video, and people are just pulling out like old bits of chewing gum and stuff from their bag. But how nice are those days of YouTube and like the world? I feel like it was such a nice time. I loved it. Like Tanya Burr, Zoella, who else did I used to watch? Lily, Anna. I still watch all of them. The Mitchell-Acts, I told you guys that was the first YouTube video that I actually ever watched and it got me hooked. I loved seeing their family life. It was actually before they had children I watched them. So I just kind of like place that on the lid and then like blend it out. And I just keep doing these kind of motions until it's all blended and there's no harsh lines on the edges. Also so fed up of big eyeshadow palettes. Like this is absolutely all that I need. I do not need like 18 different shadows and like a palette that's like that size. Remember the naked palettes everyone used to like lug around? I remember like my makeup bag used to be ridiculous. It used to have so many things, like 20 different eyeshadows, like glitter. It had everything. It had glitter liner, like everything. Okay, that's all blended in now. I don't know if you can see, but it's just kind of like a smoky shadow in like a warm coffee colour brown. I'm now going to go in on the coffee theme with the Vive Eye Wand. Is this going to focus? The Vive Eye Wand in the shade Espresso. Put it on this very thin, this is definitely not going to focus, on the very thin MAC brush. And I'm going to just paint a little wing along here. This is the shade, by the way. I'm going to do a little swatch for you. It's just this very dark sort of brown, perfect for eyeliner colour, but also watch this. It like blends into a proper shadow. And it doesn't budge. I actually bought my mum one of these and yet she seems to think it's lost somewhere and I was like, okay, great. Okay, I have a mirror here. I'm going to look in the mirror and hopefully you guys are going to get a good view. I definitely need to wash my makeup brushes. I am not someone that is very good at any of that. Okay. Now the thing is with this, I don't like it to be too perfect. I like it to kind of be a bit smudgy, so I might actually go in and smudge it at the end if it is looking too perfect, which I'm sure it's not. Maybe a bit thicker. Okay. And it being the espresso colour is so nice because it's like a really dark chocolate brown, but it's not black. And I think on my pale skin, like black is just not a colour that is a good look. Let me know if you've used any other Vive products that you really like. I love the idea of the Skin Dew. Is it Skin Dew? Skin Nova. But I used to use, and I still have a whole bottle of the Glossier Skin Dew, which I love. And I think my foundation is quite like glowy, so I don't know if I actually need a Skin Dew, but everyone raves about it and part of me is like, should I just get one? I definitely don't need one, but sometimes you kind of want to try these things. Okay, here we go. Okay, liner is looking like this. I'm quite happy with it actually. I don't think I'm going to smudge it. I do things in a really weird order. Like for example, now I'm going to go in and do some bronzer. I've put this headband on because I like to have my bronzer smudged into my hairline, and for that I need my hair to be pushed back. I'm going to squeeze out, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury contour stick, by the way. I'm going to squeeze out some of the product and then I'm going to do some dots. Just like that. I'm using Real Techniques brush to just blend it out. I love this bronzer. I feel like it's such a nice warm tone shade. I know that this is a contour, but I think it just works so well as a bronzer. I'm going to do a little dab on the nose. I was also watching some of Alana Davidson's videos. She actually did one, I think it was like yesterday or today it came out, where she was recreating a look that Lindsay Lohan has been wearing recently from, I think it was like some magazine cover that she did. Can we just talk about the transformation of Lindsay Lohan? What the hell has she been doing to her face? Because she is looking literally 20 years younger. It is bizarre. It's like someone, it doesn't look like filler or surgery, or maybe it is filler or surgery, but it honestly is undetectable. She just is looking amazing. And Alana was actually saying, I'm using the viewfinder by the way for placement of this. Alana was actually saying that there's a lot of celebrities in Hollywood at the minute who are just appearing on the red carpet one day and are looking like they have wound the clock back by like 30 years. I was thinking, where the hell has that come from? Also, some people think it might be Ozempic. I've seen loads of things in the news about how Ozempic is like the new kind of miracle drug. Even the kind of skeptics are saying that, and I'm like, okay, wow. Okay, I'm just kind of rubbing the remnants of this all over my face and down my neck. All right, we're gonna curl the lashes now. I'm gonna use, these are like, these are old Shu Uemura eyelash curlers. And the trick with eyelash curlers, everyone's like, oh, I need a new eyelash curler. All you have to do is replace the black rubber bit down here. Don't know if you can actually see that properly or if you can just see my old eyelashes stuck in there. But you just need to replace this rubber bit, and you get them on Amazon for super cheap. I mean like $2.99 for a packet of like 30. And all you need to replace is that, because if you think about it, this mechanism is just pushing that up. It's just the cushion that you need to replace. Okay, lashes are curled. I'm now going to go in with the Benefit They're Real mascara. I just have a little mini travel size one. I'm not in love with this mascara. Let me know if you have any other good options. I was using the Swede one for a long time. That was the brown, very light, sort of like elongating lash mascara. But I felt like it didn't hold a curl, and I'm kind of out of that minimal phase of makeup, even though a lot of people would say this is minimal. After I saw that TikTok where the girl was like, if you're feeling ugly, just wear a bit more makeup. That really resonated with me. For a long time, I was wearing like super minimal makeup for a really long time, and I was feeling rubbish about myself, and I was always looking in the mirror going, God, I look a bit tired or whatever. And I started wearing more makeup and I was like, oh my God, I feel alive again. Not that makeup should make you feel good or bad, but I feel like sometimes I just need a little pick-me-up and it really helps. So yeah, let me know if you've got any good recommendations of mascara, not super minimal ones. I want something that's gonna lift and volumize but not be a nightmare to take off. Let me know as well what everyone's asking for Christmas. I have a few things on my Christmas wish list. Mostly they're clothes from M&S. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I think it's since turning 30, I'm like M&S's biggest fan. I've asked for from my parents a pair of chocolate brown suede, almost knee-high brown boots from M&S. They're actually from June, but through M&S. I will put a picture on screen so you can see them, and I'll link them below. They are gorgeous. Sorry, I didn't actually tell you. I'm using the Benetint Rose, what's it called? Yeah, I'm using Benetint. This is such a blast from the past. I was saying this in a previous video. I used to use this when I was a teenager and I'm obsessed with it again. It's just like a tint and you can put it on your lips and your cheeks and it works wonders. It's so good. It's like natural, gives you that real natural like flush I think I've put a bit too much on. Let me just have a look in my mirror. But it's really, really nice and kind of like youthful. If you want a youthful look, add a bit of blush tint. Rare Beauty apparently do amazing blush as well. I'm now going to use my foundation brush. Actually, that wasn't my foundation brush. I'm going to use my foundation brush just to kind of like blend around the edges so that there's no harsh lines there. I'm going to add some of the Benetint to my lips. I'm just going to use the doe foot applicator and just kind of like put that on. This is so long wearing and you don't really feel it on your lips at all once it dries in. And it's great for overlining your lips because I feel like with lipsticks and lip pencils, you can really see the kind of like line that the liner has left and it looks like product, like it's kind of caked on there. Whereas with a lip stain, it really like just colours your skin. And then once this dries in, I'm going to add a lipstick on top. I'm going to use this little NYX. This is the oldest pencil ever. You get these in Boots. These proper pencil, eyebrow pencils last like 10 times longer than those little micro push-up ones. You get way more product. It's literally a pencil that the core is product versus the little twist-up ones where you get a tiny little stick of product and it's mostly like plastic applicator. I'm just going to fill in the front of the brows. I'm very hairy, so I don't typically need much filling in, but it makes all the difference. You see that there? I just drew that line along. And I think it just finishes the makeup quite well. I don't really get many sparse ones in the arch, but that I think just makes, I don't know, I feel like it just looks a bit more put together. Does it? I'm looking in the viewfinder, but I feel like it does. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. Let me just remove this. Another tip, by the way, if you are buying an eyebrow pencil, regardless of whether your brows are blonde or dark or whatever, I always go for a blonde shade eyebrow pencil. This is called blonde and it is dark and my eyebrows are way darker than the pencil, but I don't think when you're drawing on your eyebrows, I don't think you want like a pencil that's going to be super dark and show, like you want it to just blend into the background. Your hairs will show most of the kind of colour that you want. This is more just like blend it in so you can't see the skin behind it. So I would always say, no matter, like I've got dark hair, but I always say definitely go for like a lighter pencil because you do not want your eyebrows to look like two big pieces of drawn on something or other on your face. So the lip stain is obviously forming the basis of the lips, but I have a few products here. These are like my most used. I had to go and get them from my bag upstairs. The first one being the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. Look how small it is, in the shade Pillow Talk. Oh, it's very stuck on there. Also a great gift, by the way, for Christmas that every woman, typically every woman, needs in their life, but they maybe just don't have, is an is a lip pencil sharpener. So you get ones that are kind of flat and the edges like fall off. They are horrible, they're a nightmare. They just leave like pencil shavings all over your makeup bag and you end up with like bits of eyeshadow or lip liner or whatever all over all your stuff. Don't get one of those. Instead, get one that is like a kid's school sharpener. You know, one that is like a tub and it's got a little screw cap lid and the kid like sharpens the pencil in the pencil sharpener and the shavings are all caught inside. You want one of those and they work really well. They give you like a good tip. Obviously I've used this, but they're great. So that's a really nice little stocking filler. Another tip that I heard from just like beauty YouTubers, I think it was Katie Jane Hughes that actually said this, is to, when you line your lips, if you're looking for like a youthful plump look, don't put the pencil down like that. Bring the pencil up and around kind of to the top, towards the top, because naturally the angle of your hand will mean that the pencil is going up and then that kind of creates like a pillowy effect. Now I'm going to use the Pillow Talk lipstick. This is a travel mini. I feel like these are really good. Space NK do these like little gift sets. You get a lip liner, a lipstick and a lip gloss, and these products last so long. Like travel size doesn't necessarily mean you're getting ripped off and they're super expensive, like especially with setting powders, things like that. I feel like travel size is more than enough. I'm just going to kind of dab this on. I love the smell of the Charlotte Tilbury products. It smells like nostalgic, like sweet kind of, I don't know. I'm going to use my Hourglass Cosmetics Lip Volumizer in the shade Scents. You've seen me use this 100 times. I'm going to like dig into this because I'm well and truly finished it now. Typically I just use it straight from here, but it's like run out. I just think that's the most gorgeous gloss ever. I'm obsessed with that. That is the makeup finished. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to quickly do my hair now. This is literally what I would do for work. I'm going to do my hair. I'm just going to flick the edges of my bob under. I'm actually due a haircut. I don't know whether to kind of like grow it out a little bit or leave it as is. I'm kind of between, I don't know what to do basically. I used the GHD Curve. This is the 28mm barrel, I'm pretty sure. When you hear that little noise, it means that they're ready. And people ask me what I do with my hair. So today I just let it air dry. I've got loads of greys coming in. Can you see them? I'm thinking about doing like a whole head of box dye, just like it's very similar color brown, just to cover up the greys because I feel like it's aging me a little bit. This is how I do my waves. Honestly, this is the most basic thing you're gonna see today, definitely. I just pull, sorry, let me talk you through that. I just pull the hair through here, twist it, pull it round, and then weave it like that. At the front, you don't want to do too much because I feel like if you end up with like super curly ringlets, it can be quite difficult, or you can end up with like a kink, or it's not a good look. Also, I need to talk to you guys about Black Dove. Oh my God, have you been watching it? It is one of the best TV shows I've seen in a long time. At the start, I was kind of like, oh, like female spy, is it going to be a bit like, I don't know, overacted and a bit like too far-fetched? Not that that's so far-fetched, like female spies do exist, I'm sure. But you know, when I feel like it might have been kind of one of those dramas where it's like, let's make sure that we do make the spy female. Like, you know, one of those where it's kind of a bit OTT, but it's not. It's really well done, and there's not too much like mental fighting in it. It's like very psychological, and it's interesting. It's difficult, not difficult to follow. It's like got the right amount of complexity in it. There's enough characters where you're going, who's that again? But then actually it all fits together and like weaves really well together. So I would highly recommend that if you're looking for something to watch on TV because it's great. Okay, I'm just gonna pull my fingers through my hair like that. And then with a bob, obviously the underneath here needs something done to it. But all I'm gonna do is, flick it out on the edges. And I feel like that is enough. You don't need to be burning your whole head off. Let me just do this side now. I'm obviously looking in the viewfinder, which is why I'm kind of like staring down there. But it's just so that I can see, so I don't have to hold up that mirror. So when you do the pieces at your face, obviously do it away from the face. This is how long it actually takes me IRL. Okay, this is the finished look. This is what I typically wear to work. If I'm going out for an evening, I'll maybe put on like a bit more eyeshadow, maybe intensify the blush a little bit, or maybe like add a bit more bronzer. But this is my typical makeup look. Those are some of my favorite products. I do have some others. So if you like more of like a festive get ready with me for like a night out, then let me know and I can definitely do that. But this is my kind of like everyday, what I wear to the office. Very simple, quick and easy makeup and hair. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you for another one tomorrow. Please let me know if there's any specific type of things that you'd like to see, if you'd like to see more of this sort of stuff, more of a what I eat in a day, like any of that stuff. So yeah, bye.